Hello, welcome to another episode of Dear Jill, the podcast that's all about you, isn't it? It's all about you and your dilemmas and your problems, and we, as in me and Emma, we try and find solutions for you. And sometimes we're better at it than other days, aren't we?
I mean, you're better than me all the time, so it doesn't matter.
Are you all right?
I am all right. How are you?
Yes, very good. Did you know this about me, right?
Here we go.
I love somebody solving a problem for me that has been irritating me, or like a product. Like that's why I love watching Dragon's Den.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love Inventions where you go, yes, that's what I need. Like it's like they've read your mind.
Mm-hmm.
So, car air fresheners. Before I even begin, have you got any feelings about them at all, or are you just out of this conversation already?
That wasn't what I thought you were going to say to me before. I've got 3 that I just sort of hang up as decorations mostly.
Decorations. Why? Because they dangle.
They dangle.
They're a bit rubbish.
Yeah.
They smell like crap.
Mm-hmm.
I've never, ever, ever understood why somebody hasn't done something with a car air freshener. Until now.
Dun, dun, dun. What
So, I'm just like, there must be a car air freshener that doesn't look crap and that also smells good. So anyway, there's this company. Am I allowed to say their name, Emma?
What does it rhyme with?
Rift.
Okay.
That'll
do.
And they have designed something that, right, so it's like a little bit of metal and it clips onto your visor.
Okay.
It has a magnet on it, and then you clip a piece of wood onto the magnet, and the wood has been infused with essential oils. So not only does it not dangle,
nice,
it looks good, kind of stylish, it smells amazing, it's out of your way. It's like this is the future of car air fresheners, isn't it?
The future of car air
Those trees. How long have those trees been around? Those stupid trees that and they get in the way, and you can't see things. And I'm like, no, this is a problem that needs to be solved. Not by me, obviously. I just need to buy them. But my question to you is is there anything in your life that it's a problem, it needs to be solved? And if there's anybody out there who is an inventor or a designer, we could maybe put a little request out.
Oh, my life is a constant. I used to have a note on my phone that said things that I wanted to be fixed for me.
Because I tell you another thing recently, just while you're thinking, is again, I won't say the brand, but it rhymes with Wubwaddy.
Classic.
It sticks on the side of your sink and it's got a smiley face on it, and you clip it onto the thing that sticks on your sink. And it just means that you don't have to put it on the side of your sink. It also is it cleans really well. It doesn't scratch things. It's yes, I like things that you use for every day, but that make your life easier and look good. Just because it's practical doesn't mean to say it has to look rubbish.
It needs to look good.
Mm-hmm.
What did I struggle with? I struggle with everything. So honestly, I can't even narrow something down.
I bet you think of something. I bet when this podcast ends, you think of something. We'll put it in the show notes. If you think of something, we'll add to it.
Absolutely.
Because I love companies that are forward thinking, or that are trying to solve a problem that sometimes you didn't even know you had, but other times you're like, yes, yes, that's what I need, that's what I want.
So have you got a list of people that need to be in contact with you directly to say, sponsor the podcast, and then we'll actually say your name?
If I had, exactly. Or if I had loads of money, I would love to be a dragon.
Would you?
Yeah, I think it'd be dead good fun. I'd love that. What? And I'm really bad at predicting as well. I'll watch it and I'll go, nah, never catch on. And then a multi-millionaire. And then somebody else will come on and be like, that's the answer to my prayers. Died of death.
I remember one time on Dragon's Den, and it was the stupidest idea. And I don't know to this day if it took off, but I always remember it. It was crisp chocolate. chocolate and crisp combined, because apparently that's a good combination.
Oh, so crisps covered in chocolate.
A chocolate bar, crisps inside. You know, like this Dubai chocolate, that's the trend.
Yeah, I've tried that.
Is it good?
That's really good.
Is it?
I was really hoping to go, oh, what a stupid idea. That's not worth it. I took one bite and I was like, that's really good. Yeah.
That's my mum.
£8 it was for a little bar like that.
But it was worth it.
I mean, it's just really, I love chocolate though. You know what I mean? It's just, it's hard for me to know. If chocolate is made well, I'm in.
But would you put crisps in there?
No, I don't think I would. Like, I like chocolate with like, I get the savoury thing. Like, you know, when people put like pretzel like into chocolate and things like that. So you get that sort of like bready, salty kind of taste. But I'm just thinking about crisps as in like British crisps. Like, I'm not really bothered about putting like a salt and vinegar crisp in my chocolate.
So, no, well, it kept in my head, and I always thought, if that was in the shop, I'd buy it.
But yet no
never,
one's done it.
No, it never got to the shop. What do I want to be solved? Oh, it's going to drive me mad, that. If you've got any, let us know.
Yeah.
We really need.
Yeah, if you've got any inventions, any ideas, or you found something in your, that's really, really made your life easier, especially like practical stuff, like when you think about like washing up or laundry or whatever, you know, let me know, because I do love a gadget.
Our first voice note is from Dora.
Okay.
Dear Jill, I hope you can help me. My best friend has recently had a baby, both doing fine and well. I've been her friend for more than 10 years now, and I'm really happy for her. However, she's had her cat for as long as I can remember. They are partners in crime and she adores her. Or that's what I thought. Since giving birth, she said that the cat has started acting strangely, being really clingy, but then aggressive towards the baby. I told her it would take the cat a bit of time to get used to it, but she wants rid. She's asked around to see if the cat can be rehomed, and I'm so disappointed in her. I've told her that she's being silly and needs to give the cat more time, but she just wants it gone. Half of me wants to take the cat because I know she doesn't really want to get rid of it, and I'm sad for both of them. The other half of me is so angry because you wouldn't get rid of a baby, but you can get rid of a cat. I'm very mad about it. What should I do?
I can feel a bit of a Marmite situation coming on here. I can feel the audience being split right down the middle. And I think I'm going to be the person to do it. Okay, so this is my belief. It's just my belief. Okay, I realize it's not everyone else's. I think a cat would be just as happy with whatever family fed it and loved it. I think animals in general are very loyal to the people who look after them and feed them. So if her cat went to a different family, I don't see that as cruel. If she doesn't feel happy with the cat around her child, because that is a thing. I think that animals can get jealous and it can become tricky, and it's just, you know, you hear those stories sometimes where it's it's difficult, but that's my gut feeling, is that animals are happy as long as they're with people that are looking after them well. Now, I don't know if that is like not what a lot of other people, it sounds like it's not what you think, Dora, but I'm gonna have to bat this one over to Emma because she knows a lot more, I think, about animals than me anyway. But what is your initial feeling about that, about rehousing an animal?
If it's going to the right place, crack on. But don't just go, I need rid of this cat. First one to say I need this cat, want this cat, gets it.
Right.
Because if you love the cat, you still want it to go to a lovely home.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
But the cat must be in the wrong place if she doesn't want it, right? Because the right place for an animal is the place that somebody wants it.
I get what you're saying with that, and
Right.
I've never thought about it like that. Because
Right.
my heckles got up there.
Okay, yeah,
bit,
fair
and I was
enough,
like,
fair
you know
enough,
what? Yeah, I'm with Dora here.
Mm-hmm.
Take the cat. The friend loves the cat. She doesn't really want it.
Yeah.
Leave it, all that. But then when you said a cat would be happy no matter who the owners are, and I get that, because a cat would be sad for a bit, or you don't know if a cat's going to be sad.
Yeah, I mean,
Exactly.
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I
Yeah.
don't even know if there's been research on that or whether you could even
Yeah.
prove that. But yeah, how unhappy would a cat be if it was, it might be confused for a little bit, but would it be unhappy if it was being fed, watered, loved for, cared for?
With a baby, if it's not with its mum, it's a bit of
I
a
think
problem.
that's slightly different,
Yeah.
but somebody might be listening and say, no, it's, they've done animal psychology. It's exactly the same. I don't know. All I know is that my instinct was, I think a pet, the best place for a pet is somewhere where is an environment where people want it. Because otherwise it's getting ignored, it's getting shooed, it's getting,
Yeah.
get out of the way, you're getting on my nerves. It's having that kind of being around that environment. And I just think that there are so many people out there who would love to have a cat. But I think you're right. Go to the right place. You don't have to just ask around. There are places where you can go. Proper places, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't know the places, but there must be places where you go, this is my situation. It's changed. I really would love my cat to go to a loving home. So, here's some photographs, here's some information. Let me know. Get in touch.
But if Dora is that lovely place, and that would be nice maybe that she kept the cat in the circle.
Yeah, but Dora said, I don't think she really does want to get rid of it. Why does she think that? I think she doesn't want to think that she wants to get rid of it because she thinks it's mean. I think that's a judgment.
Okay.
And I think that when you have a child and it can be very, very overwhelming. And if you feel like your animal and your child are not perhaps getting on, or the animal's becoming very demanding or needy, I think it's all right as long as you're responsible about where your pet goes. I've always thought this, that you can rehome them into a loving environment. That's just, but I know people get really, really, really sensitive about animals. And some people might think that's ludicrous, and you think you buy a pet, you have them for life. But I know of someone who has a dog, and they got that dog off another family who had 2 children, and the dog was getting quite big and was becoming too much. And I have never seen a happier dog.
Aww.
They are like partners in crime. They never leave each other's side. So how can you argue that that dog isn't with the right person? Because this connection that he has with his new owner is like nothing I've ever seen.
That's nice.
It is nice, isn't
Yeah.
it? And I think, dogs are just so unbelievably loyal as well. And so unbelievably greedy.
Mm-hmm.
They will just go
yeah.
with anyone who gives them food, basically.
I'm
Maybe
with
I'm
you.
a dog.
Well.
Are you going to feed me? I'm in.
Yeah, that's it. No, I get it. Because, initially I thought, like, baby's sacking off. Get that baby. The cat was there first.
Yeah.
But really, when you think about it, as long as the cat's happy.
I think it's as long as the animal's happy, that's
We're
the
good.
main thing, yeah. But it is hard to ask, isn't it?
Yes.
How would you know? Can you tell?
Yeah.
Need
if
to
an
get you
animal's
round,
happy.
actually.
Yeah.
You're a cat whisperer.
Animal whisperer here.
Mhm.
Dog's tails wagging. Cats eating. They're happy eating.
Yeah, there you go.
Boom.
Well, hopefully it will get sorted out, Dora, and either you will become the new owner of your friend's cat, or your friend's cat will go to a loving home, or your friend might have a turnaround and be like, I'm good, we're all settled, this is going to be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see them pictures when like the baby and the animal really gel.
I
and they're
know.
Like,
And they're like, or the animal's protecting the baby, and it's just like,
Yeah.
won't leave like the cot until, that's so sweet, that.
I had a cat that I would lie on. I used to use him as a pillow.
Oh,
back in
did
the
you?
day, yeah. I also got the point, it was flip reverse when he was really old and he would use me as a pillow and my mum would be like, right, you can't move. If he sits on you, you have to sit there until he gets off you.
Oh.
So it was, yin and yang. We
Yeah,
did it
exactly.
for each other.
Exactly. They paid their dues and
Exactly.
you gave back accordingly.
Exactly. Wouldn't do it again. Get the cat rid. No, I wouldn't say that. Let's have our next voice note. It's from Tiff.
Tiff, okay.
Dear Jill, my name's Tiff and I'm 30 years old. I'm going to try and keep this as short as I can. I do apologise, but it's really hard to sort of try and get it all in what I'm trying to say. I am currently working through with a therapist around sort of 25 years worth of abuse I've been through, sexual abuse and domestic violence. I haven't got, a close family. They were actually involved in some of the abuse. And then sort of when I started to open up about it and go to therapy, they turned against me because they, I learned that they didn't want to admit, that they knew it was going on and they let it happen. It's quite a messed up situation, but I think because you're my biggest inspiration, I absolutely love you. Any advice you can give me for just trying to sort of live day to day and cope with it in my head. I know I'll get these answers from therapy, but any advice I get from you will stick with me forever and I'll be so thankful. But yeah, I just struggle sort of day to day. I feel so sad all the time because I sort of think I blame myself, did I deserve this? What did I do wrong to have this happen to me? So yeah, and I find that I'm alone a lot, I struggle to sort of meet people and make friends because every time I've ever met somebody, they've hurt me. So yeah, any advice would be great. Thank you.
Oh, Tiff. Tiff, my heart breaks for you. Thank you for getting in touch and being so honest. Life is very unfair and very random. There is no rhyme or reason why someone has an experience like you and somebody else just seemingly sails through life, The way you speak and the way you sound, considering what you've described you've been through, is kind of extraordinary because you would think that you would be on your knees. So amazing props even for that, for just even being able to do what you're doing and calling in and speaking to us. The fact that you're seeing a therapist, of course, that would have been like my very first thing to say to you, like, you have to see a professional. And you're already doing that. So again, like, Tiff, that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing that you've taken it upon yourself to invest yourself and your time and your money into that, because that is exactly what you need. I think that the sadness is the enormous amount of grief that you must feel about what's happened. To have to go through what you've gone through anyway is a huge grieving process. But to have people that are supposedly people who love you and your family, to have those involved as well, it's really difficult. It's really difficult to work out in one's head why you've been dealt those cards and why those people that should have been protecting you and looking after you weren't able to do that. So that in itself is a whole grieving process. But the light and the hope and hopefully what your future holds is something very different, because you're already learning, you're already putting the work in. And once you start to work really deeply with your therapist and you grieve all of the terrible things that you've had to go through, you'll begin to understand that that doesn't have to just be your story. That's just part of your story, and that you are allowed to love people and you are allowed to trust people and you are allowed to have wonderful people in your life. It's just going to take time. It's just going to take longer, and it's going to take an enormous leap of faith for you to start being able to live with that sense of freedom that other people wouldn't even think twice about because they don't have the experience that you have. But I think that, you hear so often from survivors of abuse about bringing it back to themselves. Was it my fault? Was I to blame? The shame around all of those situations is so intense and so extreme. And I think that's something that you'll definitely work on with your therapist. And once that diminishes slightly, the shame, then compassion's allowed to take its place, and you're allowed to go, I cannot believe that poor little girl, that poor small version of me was subjected to all of that. What a terrible shame she had to go through that. And then you say, but it's not happening now. And now I can take a different path. Now I can live a different chapter of my life. Now I can walk down a different road. And yes, it won't change anything that's happened, but you can create a new future for yourself, and you can bring people into your life. Like, there are so many good people in the world, so many, but you've been subjected to a lot of bad people and a lot of people that have let you down. And when you've had that type of experience, you can look at the world and go, everything's awful, everything's bad, everything's scary, everything's untrustworthy. But the work that you'll do with your therapist and the compassion that you'll bring to yourself, you'll then start to go, you know what? Not everything and not everyone. And slowly but surely, you can build a future for yourself, and you can create a life for yourself where it might be hard to believe now, but you'll have happiness, you'll have joy, you'll have love, you'll have all of the things that you look around and see other people having, and you're thinking, well, I'll never have that. That's not something that'll come to me. But that's just the way we think when we're still in the trauma of what's happened to us. But like I say, that the fact that you've even contacted us, the fact that you're seeing a therapist, the fact that you can speak the way you do already, just tells me that you must have a huge amount of resilience and a huge amount of grit, and you must be very intelligent to be able to speak like this already and see that there might be a possibility. But I'll be holding you in my heart, because that is a lot to go through, and it takes a certain type of person to be able to face it. And I have every faith that that you're going to do that. I really do. And I'm just so sorry. I mean, Emma, it's just hard, isn't it, when somebody has just had an experience that you think, why do some people get given that? It's just the cards we're dealt, right? And it's random, and yet it can feel so personal, I think. And
it's hard when, you think, why me?
Why me?
Why do I blame yourself? Why?
Yeah.
And that can be with what Tiff's gone through. It can be through the littlest, tiniest things. But your brain just says, well, they haven't. So why
does that mean I'm bad?
Yeah.
Am I wrong? Have I done something wrong? Yeah.
I think that is a human instinct, so don't feel wrong for saying that.
Yeah.
But learn, as you said, to be like, no, I've spotted it, and I'm changing.
Yeah, challenge your own thoughts when it comes to that, which is really hard, because when you have trauma sufferers, it's very, very hard to be that person that has to challenge your own thoughts, because you're already on the floor trying to cope with what's happened to you anyway. But it does, when you do challenge your thoughts like that, that's when you unlock freedom, because you're like, these people and their actions have made me feel a certain way, but if I keep on believing that they have the power to make me feel like that, then I'll stay in their prison. And once you go, I need to hand their behaviour back to them, and I need to sort out me and have compassion for me, and then I need to walk away and move on, It's like being able to, once you've worked through it, hand all of that back to whoever needs it, and go, that's not mine anymore. I don't need to wear that coat of shame, that anger, that depression. I can let that go, because actually that was never mine in the first place. That was all of yours, and you projected it all onto me, and you brought it into my life, and you did those things to me, but it's not for me to bear anymore. But yeah, it's a long, tough journey, but I have every faith, and thanks again, Tiff, for getting in touch with us. That really means a lot.
Great advice, as always. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for Tiff for that as well. Our next voice note is from Jade.
Dear Jill, I've been friends with Lucy for about 5 years now, but I'm starting to question if it's really a healthy friendship for me. On the surface, we get along well enough, but there's something strange about our dynamic. Lucy tends to be very competitive, even when it's not necessary. For example, when we make plans, she always insists on having the better idea, and if I suggest something, she'll try to one-up it. If I get excited about something I'm doing, she'll act overly positive at first, but then find a way to turn the conversation back to her, making me feel like my achievements are insignificant. It's not outright malicious, but it's starting to make me feel like I'm in constant competition with her. Recently, I've noticed that I'm starting to feel drained whenever I spend time with her. I'm hesitant to open up about my life or my struggles because I feel like she'll somehow turn it into a comparison or find a way to make it about her. On the other hand, when I try to distance myself, she becomes very clingy and starts texting me non-stop, asking if I'm upset or if something is wrong. I'm caught between feeling guilty for potentially hurting her feelings and the growing realisation that I'm not getting much out of this friendship. Am I being too sensitive?
I don't think you are being too sensitive. I think it sounds like what you've explained feels very real to you, and it doesn't seem like you're being in any way hysterical about it. You're explaining how you feel when you're with someone and what their reactions are. Again, it seems to me that you're at this crossroads, and the question is not, are you being overly sensitive? Do you need to just, forget about it? The question is, how important is Lucy to you? Is she important enough that you want to sit down and say, this is what I've noticed about our dynamic. It's really upsetting me and it's not something I want moving forward. There's so much about you that I value and I love that I feel like this seems to be like some sort of sticking point. Or is it that you're coming to the realization, Jade, that maybe Lucy isn't the person you thought she was, or Lucy isn't somebody that you particularly enjoy anymore? So it's really your choice about, is it worth fighting for? Is it worth trying to change it, trying to fix it in some way? Or is what you're really saying, I think I might have outgrown this friendship and it might be time to move on? Obviously, I can't answer that for you, but it weighs very heavy, I think, on anyone's heart when a friendship that they used to really enjoy somehow becomes something else or something different. And it's never a nice feeling when you feel like your friends are jealous. That's really hard because, we all try and be the best we can be. And obviously we all fall short of being brilliant friends at times. But the one thing you want is for your friend to be like one of your cheerleaders, and, you want them to be like, yeah, go for it. And yeah, that's brilliant. And celebrate with you. That's the whole point, You don't want that friend who only seems to want to connect with you when you're feeling terrible about yourself. You want the friend who loves you just as much when you're happy as when you're sad. So yeah, I think that's a question for you to ask yourself. Is it like, do I value this friendship with Lucy enough to want to have the difficult conversation, or do I want to sort of separate? Do I want to uncouple? Do I want to move away from it? And yeah, it's probably just like more for you to think about, really. It's tricky, isn't it, Emma, when you've had somebody in your life for a while and you just think, where do I go with this now? Have you ever had an experience like that at all, where you've gone your separate ways, perhaps? Or
not really. One thing that Jade did say about, she feels like the conversation's competitive.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I get that to an extent, because sometimes in conversations you like to say, like, you compare because well, that happened to me, because then you can be relatable. You know what I mean? But it's the difference between like comparing a situation to be able to be like, don't worry, I relate, to comparing a situation to be like, I'm here to compete it. That means there's a difference between relating and being like, right, she's not doing this because she's trying to relate with me and comfort me. She's doing it actually now to, I wouldn't say hurt, but I don't think anyone has a conversation to deliberately hurt someone if you're a friend.
Yeah.
But why are you doing that? And therefore,
Yeah.
that's not really for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think, would you agree that she just needs to decide whether it's something she wants to pursue or not?
Yeah.
Because, you know, relationships do come to an end. We've talked about that a lot on this, haven't we? That sometimes people are just in your life for a reason, a season, or a
lifetime.
Or a lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, Jade maybe just needs to think about, was Lucy there for a certain period of time, and has that period of time ended? Or is it like, no, this is worth fighting for. This is something different. This is something that I can't imagine my life without her. But very tricky, icky, bum clenchy.
Yeah.
What's going on, and that kind of unspoken energy that you can have between friends where you're like, is that what they're thinking, or why have they said that? It's you know, there's a lot of the unsaid, isn't there?
Yeah. There's nothing worse than a conversation when you be like, oh, I've been to Tenerife and I've been to 25 billion a reef. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The outdoing of each other. It's like, do you need that? No. Well, you know the answer then.
Yeah, definitely. Oh well, best of luck with that.
I have been thinking, Jill, about things that I'd like to invent.
Oh.
I don't know many, but things that I've wrote down are as follows. I'd like, as mentioned in the last episode, an out of office for texts.
Yes. Which should be a very easy thing to set up, surely, wouldn't it?
Yeah. You have an out of office for your emails. I want one for social media to say she's out. Mm-hmm. And one for my texts to be like, Emma might be a bit late.
Yeah. So for every sort of app or whatever
so
that you can communicate, you just want an override, and you don't want to have to go into each single one. You want something that says, I will go to everything you've ever signed up for.
Anything, and just say, she's out.
She's out. She's gone.
Out. Yeah.
She's
my
in
swimming app. Don't bother. Don't tell her that she needs to do a swim, because she's not going to do it.
Yeah.
So that's one thing.
Right.
I'd like a shoe rack sort of thing, but for socks.
Nice. Yes, I get what you're saying with that.
You've
Definitely.
got a pair of socks, and you've got your shoes are all pairs. Why don't we have the same for socks?
Yeah, and it's annoying when they're just all in the drawer and they're all just like mixed up, and you're like, I just want the separation of the sports socks to the sort of little cute ankle socks to whatever else, you know.
So there's that. I also would like a compare website for everything. So not just for your car insurance, not just for your house insurance, life insurance. I want things for tomatoes. One thing's for a skirt that I like, and similar products.
Right. Okay, but I can already see problems here.
Why?
Well, who's gonna run it? Like, you can't just have one person running it, because that's just like too much content, way too much. And who's the connoisseur on the tomatoes, and who's the connoisseur on the skirt?
Me.
Like,
I put in what I want, and they come up with, this is what we think you might want. Here's the price of them.
I mean, I suppose, you know, Chat GPT might be like that now. Like,
maybe
this is the size I am. This is the kind of personality I've got. What shop should I shop in? Because I reckon they'll have an answer for that for you, because they've obviously got the info of every retail. We could try that, couldn't
conversation then with
I could ask Claude.
Mr. Claude and ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this already exists, and it might do by the time we'll record this and it goes out, because, you know, technology moves quick.
Yes.
I always think, Jill, you're really stylish.
Oh,
you're a stylish person. I look like an owl bag. You always come to the recordings look nice. If you watch them on YouTube, you'll see. If you don't, get watching. But I'd like an app that knows all my clothes and puts an outfit together for me.
Yeah. Now, I've actually thought this before myself.
There you go.
And I guess, yeah, the uploading of people's clothes and all that would be a right, like, fart on. But wouldn't that be great? Like, or, you know, I mean, I suppose this is what sort of very wealthy people have. They just have personal stylists, don't they?
Yeah.
They come to your wardrobe. They say, what have we got? We've got like 5 events coming up, or we've got like 2 episodes of Dear Jill to record. What am I wearing? But yeah, I know exactly what you mean, because I do that. I kind of look at my clothes and I think, I mean, I like that and I like that, but what do I put together?
Exactly.
I find, you know, when we're talking, was it the last episode about like having the bandwidth? That's one of the things that sometimes I don't have very much bandwidth for. I kind of just get to my clothes and go, oh,
That'll do.
now I've got to choose. And then I really, really understand Simon Cowell then.
He knows his brand.
It's black pants, black t-shirt. It's never, and that's why he does that. Apparently loads of like CEOs do it. They just have a uniform and then you never take up any time thinking about, that's why they do it. Because it's about no thought. So you get the best pair of black pants and the best black t-shirt, and then they always fit you, they always look nice, and then off you go. And I do sometimes think, I think that could be a piece of me.
I think I'm going to have to become a CEO of this styling app, but I don't use it.
But there's something about, because you know how, you know, even when you go on holiday or even in your own wardrobe at home, you do have your favourite items.
You do.
You wear your other stuff, but really you're thinking, I know I look better in whatever. And you just think, well, why don't I just have 20 of them?
Exactly.
And I look good every day and I feel good. But then in your head, you're like, well, I'm like doing something different. You know, I want to show different sides of me. And it's like, why?
It's like the bra. You always wear like
Oh,
3
the
bras.
bra.
Why do you bother with the other ones?
So that's one of the things I've been looking into.
Here we go.
Is there a wireless bra for women with bigger boobs like moi that exists, that truly does support, separate, hold, and doesn't look hideous when you take your top off? I think I might have found one.
No way.
Yeah.
There's not a way.
I searched, I Googled, just tell me what the best wireless bra is for women with larger chests. And it came up with a few suggestions, and I looked into one of them and I ordered it. It's all right. Obviously, it's not the sexiest of bras to look at, but at this point, I'm like, I will take the goddamn comfort. Because, you know, sometimes I'll take my bra off and the indentation in my skin.
Yeah.
My boyfriend has actually said to me, what the hell? And I'm like, that's a bra. That's what they do to you. It's awful, though. It's awful. And I have to say, that's one thing in my life that I really resent, that I have to put metal on my body every day to hold these things
The
up.
jobblies.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's not good.
It's not.
So anyway, I'm trying this other one out. I might wear it on the podcast next week and see if you notice.
Yeah. Oh, your jobblies look great, Jill.
Or you might be like, have you got something on under that t-shirt? Yes, I'm supported.
Yeah, down here. I don't know where to go from that. If you've got any inventions, if someone wants to get on these pretty quickly so I can live my life.
If anybody out there knows of any other bra companies that do a non-wired bra that actually do all the things, like they really actually do the things, you know, keep you separated and don't make you look like one big cushion and stuff, do let me know, because I'm absolutely determined to find the perfect one that like also looks good and that I just feel comfortable in. I'm getting to the point where comfort is what I need to be all the time now.
Yeah.
Gone are the days where I wear ridiculously uncomfortable things just to look good.
It's a thing. That's it. That's why I come to this podcast looking like a absolute rag, and you're all...
No, you don't.
No, it's fine. It's fine. When that styling app's here, though, I'll give you a run for your money. Let's wrap this up.
Right. Thanks again to everyone. Stay non-wired. Stay stylish. See you next week.